episode of the podcast, the Illegal Elbow Radio Show, is brought to you by Papsky Blue Ribbon Off.
The illegal elbow.
Elbow techniques.
This is the elbow.
An elbow from here. I'll throw the elbow.
Yeah, the illegal elbows.
All right, people, we're back, man. Illegal Elbow Radio. Another exciting episode for you guys, man. This is Brian from Illegal Elbow Radio, Illegal Elbow on Twitter.
And this is Dan from MMA Aftermath on Facebook and Twitter.
Feel free for any of your MMA news needs and wants. Head on over to our good buddy FightBookMMA.com, or you can find him over on Facebook. This guy, friend of ours for about 6 months now, always pubbing the show, always giving us up-to-the-minute news, notes, highlights of everything going on in the MMA world. So head on over to MMAFightBook.com or check him out on Facebook.
All right, people, we're getting back to it, man. UFC 178 was a great night of fights, man.
Hell yeah.
We just got done with part one. We uploaded it. It's uploading, and it's actually online right now. So go over and check it out. Spreaker.com.
Going over all the prelims for this awesome night of UFC 178.
Which the prelims really were like a main card in itself, really.
They were.
You get to the Ebersol John Howard fight, up to the Dominic Cruz Takeya Mizugaki fight. Those are all great fights in there, man. So it's a fun card to go over, man. Really, and I want to pay a little respects to Cody Gibson, which pretty much had that fight won until he slipped up a little bit and got submitted by Gamburian. So a little bit of props to Gamburian, but Cody Gibson, like I said, Cody Gibson slipped a little bit. He looked good in that fight. So, Cody Gibson, a little bit of improvement. This guy's going to be good, man. It's going to be really good. Because he's a lanky dude, man. He's a tall dude, but he's tough. He's a tough kid. So,
Hell yeah.
I hope Vanderlei's not pissed at me that I'm calling him a kid, but, But getting to it, man, for the main card and everything that's left, we got 5 fights to go tonight. Kat Zingano comes in, Amanda Nunes. We're gonna call her Nunes because we've heard it so many different ways. We're just gonna go with that.
Kat coming back after a fucking a year and a half layoff, dude.
Yep.
She was ready to take on a Ronda Rousey before that happened. So
Kat Zingano looked to me like it was a little bit of a hiccup in the first round. Amanda Nunes really was bringing it on. Was really bringing that shit on.
And that hiccup you're talking about, bro? I watched that on slow-mo, and at first it looked like Nunes took her down, but what it was a failed hip toss attempt that she just fell back on and fell into basically some a little bit of jiu-jitsu, which we see in the later part kind of maybe wore out fucking Nunes. But
yeah. And giving Nunes credit, man, she looked good in the fight, but it's like Kat Zingano, I'm sorry. She said it herself, I'm coming here to break shit. And elbows and punches in the third round. She broke shit. She like we said, a little bit of hiccup, but it was a questionable hiccup. So
and she righted the ship in the second and second round moving forward. And a couple fucking homage to fucking Jake the Snake Roberts by some DDTs, or pretty damn close to it. Those were badass, dude. You know what I'm talking about too, right? Where she grabbed her up and fucking just heaved her over like a suplex almost, landed right on her head.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. One time in the second, another time in the third, man. Holy shit.
A little homage to the Fedor fight, man, where Fedor actually got dropped on his neck by Kevin Randleman.
Randleman, yep.
Yeah. And then
in a mere human would have probably would have fucking became a paraplegic, but
yeah, no doubt. But great win for her to come back. They said that she gets. I don't. Did they say she was getting the title shot off of this? I don't remember, man. Really?
Well, yeah. Well, no. It was Joe Rogan saying this should put you in line for a title shot. Coming back, coming back, not losing her ranking as the #1 contender, coming back warm-up fight, let's say,
Yeah.
really. And then Joe Rogan saying, well, this probably puts you in, contention to go against Ronda Rousey, which, hey, when he was interviewing Kat Zingano, man, she was very fucking emotional at the time, man. She was coming back. If you see some of the fight, you can see the scar on her knee from the surgery. It's a fucking huge-ass scar. And, all the emotions running through her, now knowing that she is in line to possibly take a run for the belt, which, in my opinion, Kat Zingano, and we talked about it before the fight even happened, she's got to show an impressive beatdown of her opponent, which I think, in my opinion, she did here. As she got settled in, got some ground and pound in, and fucking basically was raining down elbows, everything else, controlled the fight from the second round on. Kat Zingano is in line, but I still have questions about her against, or really anybody against Ronda Rousey's judo. It's world-class Olympic medalist judo. So, and that's where she starts her whole thing at, in my opinion, is you get too close to her standing up, and you're going, 9 times out of 10, you're going for a ride. So.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's well said, dude, because Kat Zingano, I think, will be the biggest threat, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because Kat Zingano beat Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate was number 2. Handily, yeah. I mean, once she got her bearings, fairly easy fashion. Who knows? Once Kat Zingano gets her bearings, she might have a very tough first round. But she's not, we talked.
She's in there for the long haul.
Yeah. She. We talked about this, on the pre-fight, basically the pre-fight show. We talked about how I had mentioned that she's kind of I don't know, man. I don't know about but she's very soft-spoken, outside the cage. But when she gets in the cage, it's down to business. You know what I mean? And that's why I think, that Ronda might run headlong into somebody that might have that same thing to where you don't quit. And Ronda's used to dominating. So...
Yeah. And used to ending a lot of fights fairly quickly, dude. First, second round,
Yeah.
What if she goes into the fucking 4th, 5th championship round against the Kat Zingano, that's a game opponent, and... it becomes a fucking a brawl,
Yeah.
Who's got more heart brawl kind of dealio.
Yeah,
so.
I would say they're, with what we can see at this point, I would say it looks to be a pretty damn good fight that a lot of people are excited about. Fucking should be stoked about, really. But I would still weigh in the area of a Ronda Rousey just because of that judo prowess that you talked about. But at the same time, I think, man, Kat Zingano is good everywhere, and she's good at adjusting on the fly. You know what I mean? We saw that last night. You know what I mean? She basically, had a little bit of it, like we said, a hiccup, whatever, which you explained the hiccup, and then she adjusted that, whether that was adjustment or not, whether it was just, she bounced back perfectly and got the finish in the third. So, I mean... You can't deny Kat Zingano at this point. Making her fight anybody else really makes no sense to me because she already earned the title shot. She should get a title shot off this. But I'm trying to look, as we're doing the show, I'm looking around because I thought that I saw somewhere that Kat Zingano will fight Ronda Rousey January 3rd or something like that, or maybe 13th.
Nice. So
we need to maybe look at that a little bit more, people. This is all on the fly, so, if you guys want to look that up, I'm thinking that's when it's going to happen, early January. Kat Zingano, Ronda Rousey. You'll probably find it if you're looking for it. Without sidetracking everything too far, Kat Zingano back in top form, just as Dominic Cruz. She's still number 1 contender. She hasn't lost that position. Even with a long layoff, a lot of people could say she could lose that position. But Amanda Nunes, she did well. She looked good. And with improvement, she'll look better in the future. But Kat Zingano right now, sky's the limit, man. This chick needs to really bump it in high gear and get this shit, with the title shot, which I think she's going to get it. She needs to get this shit in high gear, and
we're thinking about it, and she's a number one contender. So
yeah,
it's after fucking Ronda Rousey gets done with fucking Expendables 14 or whatever, and she's ready to fight at that time. Then yeah, it's fucking. And at that time, Ronda Rousey will be off for what? Shit, a little over a half a year. You know, so,
which is not a huge deal, you know what I mean?
No, because Kat Zingano we're both going to have an equal amount of rust, really. So we could throw that out the window. It's going to be exciting. And I'm not a fucking Ronda Rousey hater for the shit that she does in the ring. I'm a Ronda Rousey hater for all the bullshit that she does out of the ring. So it's kind of like...
We don't need her opinion on the Rice deal.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. Yeah. It's a different sport. We don't need your opinion
hear about
on it.
He's lucky it wasn't me in the fucking elevator.
You're talking about a fucking full-grown man.
Yeah. And not only that, if you're
he outweighs you by probably 150, 160 pounds.
Yeah. Football player. But not only that is, okay, you want to start calling out full-grown men? Well, there's a guy a girl that may look like a guy, has been calling you out for the last year and a half, dude. Okay?
Yeah. And we're not talking about Kat Zingano.
No.
Kat Zingano's an attractive lady. She
when the makeup's on. But, she was... she looked the part of a brawler last night, so put it that way.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. But you know what? I gotta take back a comment that I said, whether it was on show or off show, that Kat Zingano was pretty hit up. But you know what? I saw her on the Embedded show, and I was actually like, man, she's actually really attractive because it's the soft-spoken voice that she has, and the very kindness of her. And I was like, she's actually very...
A kind killer.
Yeah, very ladylike, and I was kind of really impressed. I was like, holy shit, this chick doesn't look like the evil, fucking nasty, rough-faced killer that I thought she was. But she's, like, very kind-hearted, very kind of cute. In a sense. But when you get her in the cage, man, she's a fucking animal, man. I mean, and that's great. Yeah. That's great that she can make that change because she's such a cool she seems like such a cool person to be around. But yet, in the cage, caged animal, man. Fucking...
She's out to fucking...
With that in mind, though, I gotta add this, dude. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off, but with that in mind, I gotta add this. Dana White said... working with Gina Carano, and I'm only saying this because we're talking about women's MMA. Gina Carano is the hardest person to work with because she has really, really difficult lawyers, Hollywood lawyers to work with and to talk to. Gina Carano has just signed a couple of deals for movies, so we probably will not see her back.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. If she does come back... Yeah. She's going to do it on her own terms.
It's going to be like a one-time thing, Fuck, it sounds like.
Yeah, and you know what, though? I kind of like it because it's like, she's not going to be had by Dana. She's not going to be told what to do by Dana. She's not going to do what Dana wants. She's going to do what's important for her, and I think that's cool, man.
And how about this? How about another fucking put another angle on it, okay? Because we didn't hear anything about this movie deals until just what Dana's saying. Okay, how about the same shit that maybe went down with Fedor when there was a little bit of negotiations where people got turned off from negotiating with Zuffa and a Dana White. And they're just like, you know what, dude, just fuck it. Fuck it. Go back on your soapbox. I'm going to go make a movie, or in Fedor's case, I'd rather just sign with this organization or just fucking retire, dude, okay? Because, both of them, even if she's this and that, they still need to be respected as fucking fighters and professionals, dude. And if their management and their guys that are dealing with them to sign contracts feel that they're dealing with a bunch of fucking guys that are blowhards, and you're dealing with an organization that's a top organization, so there might be some, it's our rules, you don't like to get the fuck out kind of dealio, Right. Kind of some bravado during negotiations. I don't know, but...
Yeah, no, you're right, man. And I think the worst thing about it is Dana White's like, oh, she's going to get a title shot as soon as she comes back. That's the worst thing you can do, asshole. Are you out of your fucking mind? I mean, it's the worst thing you can do. I don't want to sideline the show, but that's the worst.